In the summer of 1989, deep in the Soviet night, two passenger trains crossed paths along a quiet stretch of the Trans Siberian Railway. Each carried hundreds of sleeping travelers, families, students, soldiers on leave, and between them, unseen and silent, drifted a cloud of gas. When they met, the sky turned white, and in a single instant, more than 570 people vanished in a breath of fire. Track 13 is now boarding. The disaster unfolded near the city of Ufa, in the Bashkir region of the Soviet Union. A pipeline ran parallel to the railway, carrying a mix of propane and butane, heavier than air, invisible and deadly. For hours it had been leaking, the gas settling into the low valley where the tracks curved between forested ridges. Operators in a distant control room saw a drop in pressure, but logged it as within tolerance. No alarms, no shutdowns, just another line entry in a country used to quiet errors. By nightfall, a perfect bomb waited between two passing trains. At 1:15 in the morning, the Adler to Novosibirsk Express met its twin coming the other way. Both were traveling around 60 miles an hour. Villagers nearby later said they saw a pale mist hanging over the rails. Then came a flash, and a roar so powerful it registered on American satellites as a possible missile test. The fireball rose nearly 1,000 feet. Steel rails bent like wire. Trees turned to ash. The trains themselves simply ceased to exist. When rescuers finally reached the valley, they found twisted fragments still glowing in the soil. The heat had been so intense the ground itself had boiled. 575 people were dead. Hundreds more were burned beyond recognition. When the Soviet investigation began, the cause seemed obvious, a gas leak from the pipeline. But the deeper investigators looked, the stranger it became. The pipeline company insisted no leak existed. Pressure sensors showed no failure. Gas detectors near the line never triggered. And yet the valley was full of fuel. Forensic teams traced the scorch marks back to a fissure nearly a kilometer long, but no one could explain how it formed, or why both trains happened to arrive at the exact same moment. Some engineers blamed an electrical arc from the overhead line. Others suggested a buildup of static charge between the two trains as they passed each other. But in its final report, the Soviet Ministry of Transport admitted something chilling. The ignition source remains undetermined. Rescuers described the scene as a second sun rising over the forest. Dr. Radik Zinatulin, who treated survivors, said that when you touched a leaf, it crumbled in your hand. The forest itself had burned from the inside. 9 pipeline officials were convicted of negligence, but the verdicts never answered the question that mattered most. How could a leak large enough to fill an entire valley go unseen and unrecorded? In the chaos of a collapsing Soviet system, the truth evaporated as fast as the gas itself. Today, the site is quiet. A granite memorial stands beside the rebuilt line, and the trees have returned. But dig beneath the soil, and you'll still find glass, sand melted by the heat of the blast. Every year, survivors gather at dawn. They bring flowers, photographs, and one question that still hangs in the air. What was the final spark that night? A static discharge between passing trains? A hidden signal wire? Or something science still can't explain? A coincidence so precise, it burned itself into history. This is Track 13 Mysteries, where every track has a story, and some never end. If you like uncovering the strange side of true history, check out my new channel, Today in the Strange, where each day we travel back through time to find something extraordinary that really happened. The link is in the description. I'll meet you there, on the other side of the rails.